there's the bear. They call him Daddy.
Hello. Yeah. Hopefully the video itself starts soon. I don't know. I'm lagging, I guess. All right. What's up? How's everybody doing out there? Yeah. I was hoping to have a couple of folks come in and all that kind of thing, but yeah. KBN Productions, seriously, dude, appreciate you very much. It was fun talking to you about stuff on, was it Saturday night when Ken and Nick did the whole thick click thing, and that was fun, like chatting back and forth on the chat. Very it can get very entertaining to be silly along with the show and all that kind of thing. All right, man. So yeah, DIY. I had some things planned out and things like that. I was hoping Raven Shadow Vape would stop by, because that they are on top of it. They just keep dropping recipes and ideas and all that kind of thing, and it's always nice to have somebody that to help you out with the interaction and things like that. KBN, do you do any was it DIY stuff? Any of that kind of thing? Let me see, making sure you guys can hear me and all that kind of thing. Because I've realized that I actually in person can be incredibly loud, but put me in front of a mic and a camera, I do not talk loud enough for that type of thing. All right. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to jump into, the usual, what I've been vaping. We're going to do some, what is it? The whole thing of, let's talk DIY and all that type of situation. So yeah, let's go into some what I've been vaping. All right, so first off, I'm going to start with this guy. It's more like, at this point, I guess it's like a retro vape. I did a review for this box last year. It's a boxer type squonk box, and it's not an authentic per se. And on top of that, I have the D Pro, and this was sent to me by a buddy. He just sent it to me, and then he was like, give it a shot. And I've been trying it on different squonkers and this and that, because it doesn't have the solid state pin, which is whatever. I could just throw it on a squonker and try it that way. And so far on the recurve, it wasn't that great. On a couple other squonkers I have, wasn't that great. And I put it on here because it's a regulated squonker, and I thought it'd be like kind of a experiment to see maybe if that regulation would help it out and all that kind of thing. And honestly, it's not doing too bad on here. In that I have what is this, cereal cream from the cream collection. Really, really good stuff. I enjoy their juice, and yeah. Let me see. KBN says I have 2 DIY videos so far. I might need to do them again. It wouldn't be anytime soon. You need to have dedicated space for DIY. Dude, I totally get it. Trust me. Like, luckily I have a big enough desk where I can do all that kind of thing. I just need to get back into making the videos, and that's kind of where the time needed for steeping and all that tends to like eat up quite a bit of like research. I mean, I do have some stuff I mixed up long ago and I never touched, and at this point I made the big mistake of not labeling everything properly, so I don't remember what's in what, and that's where it's kind of killing me, because I would love to do those videos and dedicate some time into doing that, but I just completely spaced on that, and I'm a little mad at myself, to be honest. If anything, I should really start just vaping the juice that's in there. What's up, ID Voca? How do you pronounce it? Honestly, dude, like I like in my head I always want to do it as vodka, but then like it's just more like my dyslexia kicks in, and I just want to put that together for no reason at all. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, that's actually a very standard steeping time. You doing mostly like a dessert or a cream or something like that? Yeah. So continuing on the what I've been vaping. I will do, let me see. Yeah, I just got that recoil Saint Life right there with the Parade Maker from IVC in that guy. Really love that juice. Seriously, it's like one of my all-time favorites. Makes me so happy. And then next, we're going to go with this guy. I have the Project X in a Stratum Zero combo Really liking that. Really wishing this top cap was stainless steel, so the whole thing would be matchy all the way through. But it is what it is. And in that, I got from my own collection the rectum balls, which is a key lime pie. Really thoroughly enjoying that. All right. So yeah, that is the what I've been vaping portion of this show. We're gonna get into some Let's Talk DIY next. I had some talks and topics planned out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Yes, Mr. Enders, Parade Maker is good. Seriously, if you guys have not tried IVC juice, seriously, go over to ivc.com and try it out. Like right now, I actually got the Hipster Boulevard also, and I've actually tried my hand at making chai juices and have failed miserably. I've not been able to get that creaminess that you need in a good chai latte, and they did it, and it's inspired me, and I'm gonna take a shot at it again, and I'm gonna like make me a giant batch just to like vape for myself. Vanilla strawberry custard with a hint of sweet cream. I love it. All right, cool. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. An 80-20 mix, so it's all nice and cloudy at the same time. That's good, man. Good stuff. We'll say like strawberry custards and all that kind of thing are very simple to make, very straightforward, but at the same time, you're just trying to find that right balance to where one doesn't overpower the other, because you could get some strawberry flavorings out there that will just overpower everything no matter what you do. There are some ways to get around it and yada yada yada, which I am still like learning myself and trying to get into more of what the science behind it is and all that kind of thing, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about a little bit here. I have a cool chai tea mix for DIY. If you need one. I used to own a liquid company, and the recipes ain't going to do me any good. Really? Oh, dude, that's crazy. I didn't know you owned an e-liquid company. That's something, dude. It's insane once you actually get to okay, you closed up shop 5 years ago. It's crazy once you actually start getting into the whole learning people's history and like their vaping journey, because some people go through like a lot of weird stuff in between from the day they picked up their first like setup or whatever and to present. I mean, Texas Cloudtown, thanks for joining us. Him, like, he was on and off for a while, and he started where vape gear, where like turtle ships were the thing and this and that. Then he left for a while and then came back, and all this, like, a lot of things changed. And it's one of those weird things. Like, I've been solidly vaping since 2012, and I've seen the growth and things like that. But even then, like, I didn't dive into the vape community until about like 2014. So for the longest time, I was just stuck on ego pens and EVOD tanks, and that was it. It was just one of those things of like, I didn't really care to try anymore or try anything else. And then I would go into my vape shop and never ask anything about anything else they had on the shelf, and I feel like I missed out on a lot of things. And at a point, I wish I could like just buy some of this stuff just to like try it out, maybe do some retro vape videos and things like that. But I don't know, it is what it is. It was also like they were kind of guiding me, trying to make sure I was staying within like my own parameters, which I feel like I probably should have just taken my own charge on it. But then I just didn't know about YouTube, didn't know about any vape community stuff. I keep finding crap in my beard. Yeah, I get easily distracted if you can't tell. All right, so yeah. So going back to DIY stuff, I was thinking, what is something that is integral and crucial to vaping? And, one of the things that a lot of people, no matter what you're doing, no matter what it is, you have to learn control over sweeteners. And like what type of sweeteners there is, what type of sweeteners do you want to use, what you're trying to get out of the sweetener and things like that. For your most part, your standard across the board will be straight sucralose. Let's see. I started vaping in 2013, learned DIY liquids 6 months later, opened a liquid company and lasted 9 months, then turned to reviews, promo, videos, product photography. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've checked out a couple of your videos, man. KBM Productions. yeah, I've like gone through, like I subbed you, I think on Saturday, and like looked at some of your videos and all that kind of thing. Really good stuff over there. Seriously, you guys, if you guys never sub to him, go over there, check out his channel. Really, really good stuff over there. So yeah, back to DIY stuff. Like I'm like, I don't know, I'm always like all over the place. Here, let me just do some quick shout outs to folks. As I've been saying, KBN Productions, thank you for joining us. ID Vodka, I still don't know how to pronounce it, dude. I am so sorry. I am bad at English. Then let's see, Ender's Other Game. My dude, yeah, that dude, he sent me this guy. I was gonna save it for the Ohmies and all that kind of thing, but yeah, he sent me this guy for review. This thing is insanity. Oh man. Let me see. Texas Cloud Town. Seriously, the dude, like, he's an awesome guy. He's over there making it with the advocacy talk and things like that. He also does reviews, juice reviews, all that kind of thing. But go check out, at minimum, go check out his Weekend Wisdom show on Saturdays over with Shane Oakley and all that kind of thing. And let's see, 808 Wrecking Ghost. How are you, dude? Aloha, bro, as he puts it. All right, cool. Thank you, KBN Productions. All that kind of thing. Maybe I'll have you come on the show and talk about like your DIY stuff. I know you did it long ago, but hey, it'd be interesting. Eddie Tooney, how are you, brother? That's another man I need to get on this show at some point. I just keep forgetting to talk to you about it. Oh man, I'm really bad about things. Like weekends tend to like just go by way too fast. I do appreciate Addy Tooney dropping on all the advocacy links possible. Seriously, guys, we need to keep up the fight. We need to keep doing it because it is one of those weird things that, like, I know we talk about it on the Ohmies, we talk about it on Wolfbite, but it's something that we just need to keep going and going. And I'll be honest, I'm getting to that point. I'm just feeling so burnt out of like listening to everything and reading everything and trying to find ways that we could keep promoting and things like that. And just, it feels like for every step forward we take a mile back, and it weighs and it just gets really, really tiring. But you know what? You got to keep the fight. You can't give up, because the thing is that we truly believe in vaping, and we saw this as a forum for us to quit smoking. Then we need to keep that fight going, you know? I mean, there's no point in just saying blah and throwing our arms up in the air. Yeah, dude, for sure. I'll let you know. Yeah, KBM Productions. Let me see. What can I... yeah, I'll let you know. Hit me up on Instagram. Like, I think I have a link down below, and it's just Clown Vapes on Instagram. Just hit me up on there. That's like the easiest way to get a hold of me, honestly. And because I have a Facebook, but I barely ever use it. I try to keep as active on my group, on the Ohmies group, and any group that I'm in. But even then, like, Facebook is just one of those things that I don't really touch a whole lot, because I don't know, Facebook has gotten weird, and now Instagram's kind of going down that route, and I hate it. But whatever. All right, so yeah, so back to sweeteners. Like I was saying, sucralose tends to be the overall industry standard for when it comes to what most e-liquids have in them. And Addy Tooney, KBN, you guys know this stuff. If you guys any 2 cents or anything way to help me out here explaining this, I much appreciate it and all that kind of thing. But yeah, so yeah, sucralose is your standard flavoring or your sweetener, and it goes just in about anything and mixes very well in most juices, and it just adds to whatever you're trying to do. But with that being said, it also tends to be the one that like caramelizes the most. It tends to like burn out your coils the most. That's why like when you have like a very overly sweetened juice, most likely it's heavy in sucralose, and it will kill your coils. It destroys them, and it gunks up your cotton. And like whenever you're having those issues, most likely that's the culprit in your juice. And for a while there, that was like the biggest issue I was finding with juice. Like part of like why I liked more leaning towards the DIY route because a lot of stuff was overly sweet and I didn't care for it. I don't mind sweets, but I am not somebody that gravitates towards candy. I am a sucker for like desserts. That's why most of the juices I do are desserts. I'm a sucker for coffee. That kind of stuff. Like that's what I gravitate towards. Like I like cake on like here on there. I like pies. I know some people are piecists, but I like pie. And what's it called? But I like candy. I don't really care for it. I've tried candy e-liquids and it's not my thing. I don't like it, and that's kind of one of those things. Let me see. I've been vaping on the Profile RDA for a month and I am vaping a super sweet liquid and no gunk for real. Same coil for over a month. I will say, and that's what the point I was getting at too. There's a lot of juices nowadays that are like sweeten very well and they don't really mess up anything, which means that like a lot of people are probably tuning it back a little bit on the sweeteners. Also, you got to put in mind like what setup you have, because the Profile and the Profile RTA tend to be one of those things that mesh tends to just over heighten things and make things a lot more amplified when it comes to the sweetness to what it is. Like if you were to try it in a traditional setup with a traditional coil, it'll be a completely different ball game. And that's another one. Like a lot of things vary from setup to setup. Like right now I have rectum balls in this setup right here that I'm vaping on, and it's not as punchy as it should be in the key lime or the creaminess that it has underlying. And I was like wondering if maybe I mixed it wrong this time around or something. So I tried it in a different setup, which that's another one. When you start DIYing, you got to think of what am I going to vape this on? Most of my juices tend to be, low ohms, high wattage, mech mod, dual coil RDA type of juices. That's where I test them on. That's what I vape on the most. I am for the most part not a tank guy. I don't do tanks. I don't use sub ohm tanks very often. I have this guy right here in front of me that I use for like samplings on some things, and it's mostly because it's like one of my retro setups. It's a Crown 3 with the Hex Ohm 2, and you gotta like once you're like getting into making juices, test it out on different things. And I think that like that's one mistake I've made in my journey is I make them for RDAs because that's the way I like to vape and that's the way I want to vape. So you might not get the same result that I get out of like a tank that I got from doing in an RDA with like a 0.1 build and just ripping coils and all that kind of thing. So it just turns into one of those weird things. Let me see. Let me see. Ender says, Eddie Tooney, I can believe it. As I said, I have brass into very soon the plan put up on IG similar to yours. Okay. I'm trying to just keep up with chat here. I got used to mixing without it. I used 20% dilution of stevia from ISO flavors when recipe needs a touch. I agree. The Profile stainless steel mesh coil kind of messed up vaping for me, as my standard round wire builds with 24 gauge 316 stainless steel doesn't put off a ton of flavor like mesh does. Yep, exactly. And that's the thing. The mesh makes a difference. For me, a standard 3-core fuse Clapton or Alien fuse Clapton tends to be my go-to build. I've tried frame staples. I like them. They're not bad. They give me the right amount of heat. They give me everything I want in a vape, but I just feel that the amount of work you put into a frame staple is not worth it when you could get the same results from a 3-core Alien or fuse Clapton. It's one of those weird things of there's not much. I don't see much of a difference in benefit from one to the other when one has a lot less effort to put into it, because frame staples are nice, but a lot of work goes into it, and messing them up when trying to build them up and wrapping and all that kind of thing, it's a lot easier to mess those up. So yeah, back to Addy Tooney. He said he got used to mixing without sweeteners. Yeah, and that's where I was kind of heading. Most flavorings nowadays have become very sophisticated in the point of Sweeteners aren't very necessary. If anything, you try to use them more as an enhancer than as a sweetener, just to give it a little bit of a punch. And like he says he uses a stevia mix. Actually, I do erythritol. I actually mix it up myself for my personal uses and all that kind of thing. I get like the crystallized version. I dilute it in VG. I put like about 5% per like 5% per milliliter type of thing. So I do like a 50 milliliter bottle or jar thing that I have, and in that I put 5%, and I do it by weight, so I do it in grams. So being that it's a 50 milliliter converted to grams, which is a 1-to-1, so it's 50 milliliters 50 grams, then I move it to a 5 to 10%, so it's about 2.5 grams to 5 grams depending on how strong I want to make it and how much I want it to last. I move back and forth and all that kind of thing. And there are different ones. I mean, stevia is another sweetener that you can use. I know that one is diluted in propylene glycol, which is PG, and you could do that. It just depends which flavor you're willing to play with. Like me, sucralose, I don't mind it, but at the same time, it's not my favorite. Stevia, I have not played with, which I probably should try it at least once and see how that goes. I've been drinking lately, and this is something I wanted to bring up. I've been drinking lately this right here, which is cane sugar and stevia Coca-Cola, trying to like cut back on like the fructose corn syrup stuff. Just trying to like cut back on a lot of like excess stuff. I mean, I drink way too much soda to begin with, and I need to like make sure I'm doing something better for my health. Like me and my wife have been trying like to eat better, this and that, move around a little bit more. So it just turns into one of those things. So I've been noticing anytime I take a drink from my soda, the juice tends to like have an off flavoring, like the sweetener gets muted because there's too much of that on my taste buds, and it turns into this weird thing. Like I've been playing around with the idea back and forth of like, well, let's see how it affects me with this juice, let's see how it messes with this juice, and it's one of those weird things. Let me see what chat has got going on here. Let me see. Ohm.My.Lanta, how you doing, buddy? You ready? Oh no, yeah, you're off today. You're at work. Let me see. Ever since I started vaping, I'm always about flavor and battery life. I tried exotic coils, and it turned out to be too hot. I've been using my round wire builds for 5 years. Yeah, I mean, there's some people. That's the thing. It's like, me and Frank were talking about. If we were like stuck on a deserted island, 3 setups and juice that we would take, we would have batteries for days. It's just more what juices we want and what setups. And, at the end, the point we fell onto is that you don't have to have a ton of vape gear. You don't have to have fancy coils or this or that. You just got to find a juice you like, and you got to find a setup that works for you. So a lot of that just plays into it. I mean, and that's one of those things of like in vaping, I know sometimes we give each other a hard time and we give each other shit over whatever stupidity we want to fucking make a point on. But in the end, the point is to get off of cigarettes, move on to like maybe getting off the nicotine, and eventually maybe quitting altogether if that's your end goal, or at least just a healthier lifestyle. You know what I mean? Let's see. He says, I got back into the soda kick with Mountain Dew. Yeah, dude, that was horrible for me for a while. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. She's in chat right now. She'll tell you that I got really, really bad at the Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew was really, really bad. Luckily, I like got off of it for a little bit. And then I tried getting into it again, and it was way too sweet for me. I was like, why is this so sweet? And I'm hitting this shit. I need to find a replacement with as much caffeine as soda has. Yeah, I feel you, dude. I like coffee too. That's another one. Yes, exactly, Texas Cloud Town. It's about harm reduction, which, our government needs to acknowledge. We will be talking about that a little bit on the Ohmies tonight. So come hang out and join us in chat over that. See, I told you, Mountain Dew no longer allowed in my house. I wasn't kidding. I told you guys. I gotta change out this battery, so I'm doing that right now. Stuck in an island. Just need a reliable mech tube drop dead RDA. And I see miles of 22 gauge nichrome 80 and lifetime supply of cotton and batteries. A decent strawberries and cream vape juice to vape. Seriously, Enders, every time you come out to see Dan, I keep forgetting to send you some juice, and I need to send you some Tyson's Blend. See what you think, buddy. Alrighty, so yeah, so like sweeteners affect, like, you'd be surprised how many sweetener types that there is and what they do, what they can do. There's what is the other one? Malthol. I was actually looking into this earlier today, and I cannot remember to save my life right now. Ethyl maltol. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That one's more meant for like enhancing something, just to like bring out certain flavors and certain things, and to make it just a little bit more punchy, depending. But that one, you got to be a little bit careful, because the more you push it, the more you add to it, the more it actually can mute out certain flavors or certain parts of the flavor profile that you're looking for or hunting for. And it could just eradicate it and just end up making it a complete waste. Try some sparkling ice drinks, just as good. Carbonated drink, no sugar. Not gonna lie. There you go. My wife has her set up, and apparently I'm part of it just to make the coils. Fun times. What was I gonna say? On the sparkling ice drinks, isn't that like basically like the carbonated water? I can't do those. They taste gross to me. I cannot do it. Cannot do it. Sorry. Enders, I would assume there'd be a little bit more than just to make coils, but that's what she put on there. Only coils. Yep. That's it. Nice. I appreciate that, dude. Seriously. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content I put out. At times I wonder, what am I even doing? uh, but even then, I'm just having fun with all this. I like that I have the gear set up and all that kind of thing. This mic and my sound interface was because I went to school for audio production, and it just works out for me. Yeah, but better flavor doesn't taste like normal ones. Let me see. Texas Cloud Count. Let me see. All right, buddy. I know this is like a weird place to ask this, but are you staying at the what? Okay, what are you guys calling it? Is it the Stooge House or is it the Booty Squad House? I'm not fully sure on what you guys are calling it. I just know you guys are doing it, and are you staying there? And who else is gonna be able to come down to Houston? Because I am excited. I know my wife is excited. We are looking forward to hanging out and all that kind of thing. He at least is drinking the stevia Coke. We have sugar issues like the key lime pie in the fridge. Yeah, pretty much. Crystal Light Lime and Strawberry Lemonade versions are really good. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'd be willing to give it a try, but don't be surprised if I'm like a stickler about it. I am one of those weirdos that I eat just about the most random things ever, and even my wife like raises an eyebrow at how I eat, but I'm actually a very finicky eater, just like my father, who says that he'll eat just about anything, but the dude is so nitpicky it's not even funny. Like it took me and my younger brother about 3-4 years of trying to convince him that that sushi was good, and he just kept telling us that we were just eating snake, and he doesn't care for eating snake. And mostly he was talking about eel rolls. Yes, I am an old man. I've been an old man since I was 10. I turned 33 this year. So if that puts anything in perspective. Okay, cool. All right, cool, Jay. So we're gonna hang out and all that kind of thing. Yeah, dude, I like the Booty Squad house. I mean, that's what the car was called at NVE. It was the Booty Squad vehicle, and I feel that Booty Squad should just be it. If you know the story of Booty Squad, it gets really funny. Why are you timing out people? Okay, I don't. Okay, sure. Can I retract this? Okay. Sorry, Jay. Alrighty, so yeah, that just happened. Yeah, Booty Squad. So yeah, drinking water with a squirt of black cherry lime right now, and it's good. That's another thing you guys got to realize: flavorings that we use for DIY juices are actually meant for food, so you can technically use them in things. That's where a lot of these flavorings kind of like started off from. They're actually flavorings for food. Jay, just remember we love you, buddy. Alrighty, uh so yeah, okay, Addy Tooney, you kind of gave your 2 cents a little bit on how you use sweeteners and things like that, but any recommendations you would give on sweeteners? Because I'm just trying to enlighten people a little bit more, trying to put out a little bit more into the conversation. Uh, oh yeah, okay, I will be honest, Texas Cloud Town, if you're like still watching, buddy. Uh, I actually go by Jay. Like my legal name is too hard for most people to pronounce, so I go by Jay. So whenever I'm talking about you, it trips me up because I think I'm talking about myself. And it's one of those weird things if I'm not used to people having the same name I do, because my name is very rare. So getting to meet another Jay is kind of an interesting thing. I've been called Jay for at least the last 5-6 years, so I'm so used to hearing that at this point. And again, I know I'm supposed to be talking DIY and this and that, and staying on point for me is a very difficult thing because I tend to be very all over the place. I am very ADD and I bounce around. But yeah, so always keep in mind when you're trying to like figure out what style of sweetener you're trying to do, always keep in mind like what are you going to vape it on? What are you aiming for in your mixes? Where do you want this to lead? You know, do you want something overly sweetened? Do you want something that will gunk up your coils, will not gunk up your coils, and all that kind of thing? Droomstar, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, pretty much. And that's the thing. Yeah, and that's what I've been told. Uh, the Palm VG. I don't know. I'm like a weird person about that kind of thing with the Palm. I'm not a like. To me, it has like an odd taste, and I'm not opposed to it because I mean, even like if you guys know Mr. Gathering Vapor Lounge, which I thought I had one of his juices out here. Oh, it fell over. He actually does use Palm based VG, and I'm not trying to give away his secrets. It's just one of those things of like he does use Palm based VG because we had this discussion. He says he likes it a lot more and all that thing. uh, really, Enders, you've known me for over a year and you just learned my name. So yeah, so we've had that discussion, and to me, like I don't mind them; they're fine. I will vape Palm Juice VG e-liquids, but for me personally, I just don't like. It's not my thing. It has like a slight taste, and it might be like the vegetableness, even though like at VG it's vegetable glycerin, it's pulled out of something. Just depends. Just some of it is very specified, others are not. So I don't like to I don't mind it, but it's just not my preference, so I don't really use it for like my mixing. It's just one of those things of like, you got to remember, you go for what you like and all that kind of thing. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, and I assume that's why Mark does the same thing, because he doesn't like sweeteners either. We've had a lot of discussions about DIY mixing and mixing juice and all this, and why we do what and where and all that kind of thing. Because even like we've talked about like what flavorings we like, what companies you like, because there are like me, like TFA, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I've used a couple of their flavorings, but I'm not really the biggest fan of them. Like, if anything, I'll say I'm more of a Capella fanboy, honestly. Flavora, Flavor West, those are companies that I gravitate a little bit more towards than TFA. Even though TFA has like the widest range of flavorings, I'm just not a fan of theirs. That some of them are just kind of like really weird and pungent, and they don't mix very easily, and just don't care for them. Let me see. Let me see. Most use the Flavor West sweetener, which is a combo of sweetness. Supposedly, it mutes a little less. Yeah, I could see that. As far as custards, Vaptasia is my favorite. Yeah, I've still not tried any of the Vaptasia stuff, and I've heard so many good things about their juices, and I keep wanting to try them out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Capella, really, I don't know. I've heard Capella get like some flack here and there from like some of the DIY community and things like that, but personally, I like their stuff. I like what they do. I like how they do it, and all that kind of thing. Flavora, I think is good for if you want something that doesn't use up a lot, because their concentrations are pretty heavy, at least in my experience. Same goes for TFA though, and I think that's why I don't like them, is because theirs are so strong that you gotta go so low, and it's confusing at times because you're like trying to figure out that balance, and either you go too low, you go too high, and it just completely ruins things. Oh, dude, I get you, man. Trust me, I there are days where I'm like, well, I want to build this thing, I want to build that thing, or it just things go through my head and I just do not have the time, or it's not the right time for it. Like while I'm at work, like it sucks because like I'm for the most part a very much a night owl type person. I like being up all night and all that kind of thing. But so I ended up getting a job that's an overnight job. But that's when I'm my most creative, and I would rather be home doing things than stuck at work. You know. My five flavors were NYS lemon cheesecake. My number one hit cool chai tea, gram chata, and R and lychee. All right, dude, that sounds amazing. That's all I'll say. I'm not the world's biggest fan of Coolata. Don't like it. I've tried it in a couple of juices, and I don't like it. And I don't know, just not a fan of Coolata. If anything, I try to get around it by using like spearmint or double mint and things like that, and it tends to be one of those things of like uh it's just one of those things like Coolata. Just not one of like the biggest fans. The cooling sensation is kind of nice, but I don't like the taste it puts off, and it leaves like a weird after aroma. If that makes sense to you guys, I'm just not a fan of it. I've not played with menthols, and that's something that I kind of want to move into. But every flavor house had some great ones and some dogs. The new Wonder flavors in Flavora and Capella are burgeoning on some complex that they can be done. They can be one shots. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. And that's another one. I think like Wayne from DIY or Die. The fact that he's been putting out the one shots and things like that, the premix ones where you just kind of dump it in a bottle and all that kind of thing, kind of like makes it easier for people to be introduced into the whole DIY community because there's less thought in it. You just kind of got to slap it all together, and you don't have to really work through a whole lot. And to a point, I think it's like it's a good thing as an introduction to another one. it kind of cheapens the idea of DIY, but then it's one of those things. Yeah, dude, Texas. Honestly, dude, I don't know. We might have to talk, and I need to talk to my wife about some stuff. But maybe we can work on some stuff down in Houston. Like, you seriously live so close to me, but we don't have time for like hanging out. Because if anything, I wouldn't mind like hanging out with you and working on some stuff and all that kind of thing. Or even like through Zoom, we probably could get something going. Graham chata is a mixture of graham crackers and horchata. My cool chai tea is made with a mint and mint enough to give it a cooling effect. Exactly. That's like one that I've been like I do have one that it's supposed to. Okay, the original thought was supposed to be a mint chocolate chip ice cream, and it didn't have the ice cream feel to it, but it still came out as a mint chocolate chip. And I've gotten a lot of it either tastes like a mint Oreo or it tastes like Andy's candies, and I've gotten a lot of like mixed ideologies behind it, and I'm just glad people are liking the juice in general, honestly. And that one was kind of a mess up that I just went with, and it's turning out to be one of those ones that people really like, and I enjoy that idea. Let's see. All right, so yeah, back to what I was saying. When you're trying to mix and trying to find where you're going on things, always keep a lot in mind of what is your end goal. It's one of those weird things where like it sounds like like you gotta reverse engineer it, if anything. I mean, that's what Labworks always says. Reverse engineer your juice. Like the dude actually likes to go through and learn cooking recipes to understand how you get to those flavor profiles, and I personally think that's actually a good way to go about it. The way I like to do it personally is I'll get like single flavors. I'll make a quick single flavor 10 ml bottle and mix it up, try it out for a little bit, see what I can like, what I feel like it's missing. Like me and my brother like years ago at this point, but like 5-6 years ago, we really got big into drinking alcohol, and then we got big into mixology. And my brother is a wizard at, if you tell him, hey, I got this, and he'll ask you, do you have this, this, and this? And then he'll basically get you set up with a really good drink. And the dude, like, he keeps talking about going to cooking school, and he needs to do it ASAP, honestly. Like, he would live that life. And so it's one of those things of like, so we started learning that, and like I've gotten to that weird like point where if I try something and I'm used to like if I try to eat it or drink or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, this is missing a little bit of this, it's missing a little bit of that. So I've gotten to that weird point where I can actually start, like, at least in my mind, thinking about what could I add to this to make it that much better. Whether it's already good or not, that's a whole different point, but it is one of those things. As Mr. Addy Tooney saying, the Flavor Bible is something you need to get. Seriously, go buy it. It's a book that you can get, or you can get a downloadable PDF, I think he said one time. And yeah, that actually tells you what flavor profiles work together. What can you do together? DIY Down Under is... Let me see. What is Pipa? What's Pipa? I'm confused. Or DIY under is foods? I don't know what you were getting at there, buddy. And yes, Texas Cloudtown, get you one of those. I know, like, I think I found that on Amazon for like $10 or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it might be. I might be right. It might be wrong. Seriously loving this setup. This mod is so tiny, and I mean, that's the mod. The rest of that is all tank. All right, so I'm gonna call the show here. I'm at like about 45 minutes of talking and all that type of situation, and I'm kind of just getting over something, so like my throat's still kind of like and the less I talk, the better, I guess. Like over the weekend, I was really feeling it, like the whole scratchy throat thing. Foots to food. All right. All right. Cool. 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 Oh, okay. A person to talk about DIY is Pipa. She eats foods and drinks stuff to get flavor ideas. Okay, yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Uh, that's one of those things of like seriously try out random foods and uh, you're gonna make me sub to this person, aren't you? All right, so yeah, trying foods and things like that is a great way to make sure that you understand what you're getting at or what you're running towards when it comes to like mixing and all that type of situation. Always give it that good old college try. Alrighty guys, so as I was saying, thank you for joining me. This was a good show. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disheartened that I was like 5 minutes away from starting and there was nobody here. And I appreciate KBN dropping in and at least asking if I was still going live. And thanks to everybody for joining me. Addy Tooney, KBN, we need to talk and see if we could go into maybe you guys come on the show and talk a little bit about yourselves and give more perspective, because that's another one. I feel like the community, we have our little groups, and I have not been active in any of the Facebook groups in forever, but we need to expand and let more people know. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a hidden secret, and so it comes to like other things like coil building and such. All right, so thank you guys. Go check out clownvapes.com. Vaping with the Ohmies tonight at 7 over at the Vaping with the Ohmies channel. Come hang out, have a good time. Check out the Wolf Bite on Vape Radio. We are on at noon on Saturdays, 9 p.m. on Sundays. And let me see, what else do I gotta say? And as always, vape on, mix on. Hi.